Today, it's finally here, part 4, the epic conclusion of our San Diego Comic-Con 2022 Lookback Series. Today, we're going to be talking about the rarest exclusives that were handed out personally at the physical event in San Diego, California. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for part 4 of our epic San Diego Comic-Con Lookback Series. Happy San Diego Comic-Con week to you all, and I hope the odds are ever in your favor as we have a lot of big stuff dropping this week. Specifically on Friday, we did get confirmation that the Fundays online box will be dropping at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. So get those fingers and credit cards ready, as I have a feeling that those boxes are going to be selling out lightning fast like they normally do. Now getting into part 4 and our final episode in this epic look back series. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure to go check out the first 3 parts because I did work very hard on this series and there was a lot of stuff that dropped for last year's con. And there's a lot of information that I feel like is very pertinent to everyone's collecting careers, especially when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con. So today we're going to be talking about the physical items that were of the rarest exclusives and only handed out to those who attended the Fundays event in person last year during San Diego Comic-Con. This year's Fundays is supposed to be a lot bigger. It's going to be outside, so likely I'd expect a lot more exclusives to be handed out, and maybe we'll even get some rarer stuff. Although last year's stuff was pretty rare. So starting out with the Mascot Pops that were handed out at the con, there were, once again, 4 different Mascot Pops handed out, although these, unlike the ones in the take-home boxes, were way more limited, coming in at 500 pieces, and they all glow in the dark, which I think Blacklight Pops should all glow in the dark for the most part, but these would glow if you actually charge them up, not just glowing off of when you turn the lights off. So for the first one that we have here, the Blacklight Bandits 500 piece pop, this one's currently trending at $120, although when it first dropped and hit the market, it was trending for around $160. The next pop, the Killer Clowns 500 piece glow-in-the-dark Blacklight mascot, is currently trending for $145, and when it initially hit the market, it was going for $200. The next one, the Pop Protectors Mascot Pop, was originally hit the market for about $200 to $220. It's come down a lot as it's currently trending today for $110. And then our final very limited 500 piece Mascot Pop was the Proto Robos, coming in at $210 today. This is the only one that's actually gone up in value since when it first dropped, as when it first hit the market, it was going for $150. Once again, this year we do have 4 different teams for the Camp Fundays event, and I'm very excited to see. Hopefully we'll get some more Mascot Pops or even some more Mascot Sodas, which I think would be very unique. But enough about the mascots. Now it's time to get into the very rare, very limited, and for the most part, very expensive Freddys. So unlike the Freddys that dropped in the take-home Box of Fun online boxes, these are a lot more limited. The highest LE piece that you could have gotten at the Fundays event was 2,000, with the most limited piece coming in at only 500. And 500 pieces nowadays is pretty dang limited. They do not drop a lot of items, whether it be pops or sodas or anything from Funko is usually not that limited. So some of these are very special. The first Freddy that we're going to be talking about today is a very unique one, coming in at 2,000 pieces. This is the Atomic Freddy. And the reason that this one is a little bit more unique than most other Freddys out there is because the eyes are very different compared to a lot of other Freddy Pops. They almost have that anime style look, and that's why I know a lot of people were excited for this one in particular. This one is currently trending at $90, and it's actually right about the same value as when it first hit the market. The next Freddy that we're going to be talking about is a lot more limited than the Atomic Freddy. This one is actually one of the LE 500 piece Freddys that we're going to be talking about today, and this is the Orange Freddy Fresh Freddy. And unlike the Black Jacket Freddy Fresh, this one is going to run you a lot more in terms of value, as it's currently trending at $175. It did sell for a peak of $210 when it first hit the market, so it's come down a little bit since it first released. So next up, we actually have a WWE-inspired Freddy Funko, which was Pretty interesting because Funko actually does not make a lot of WWE themed or inspired Freddys. This one, of course, is the Macho Man Randy Savage Freddy, coming in at only 2,000 pieces. This one is currently going for $115. However, if you look at the sales history, there's been quite a few fluctuations over the last year. It actually, when it first hit the market, sold for a peak of $230. It came down and settled out around $120 before rising again to a peak of $195, and then it's since come down to the $115 that it currently stands at today. It'll be interesting to see if Funko makes any more WWE Freddys in the near future, and if this one will rise in value yet again. Up next, we actually have a pair of Marvel-themed Freddys in the form of Freddy Funko as the classic Loki, who we actually saw in Loki Season 1 over on Disney+. Now, they actually made two versions of this specific Loki Freddy. I would love to see a Tom Hiddleston-inspired Loki, but in the meantime, we do have this one to look forward to if you are a Marvel collector. This one, for the regular one, was coming in at 1,500 pieces, and it actually currently sits at $210 for a value. Just like the Macho Man Randy Savage Freddy, this one is actually fluctuated quite a bit in price as well. When it first hit the market, it was going for $250. Then it rose to a peak of $310, and it's fluctuated a little bit since then and is now settled at $210. The reason that I think this one isn't worth as much is because this one actually has a 500 piece metallic counterpart that they also released at the event. This one is the same exact mold, only difference is that it's metallic and it goes for triple what the regular version goes for, which actually makes sense because it's 3 times as rare. It's coming in at $650. It initially sold for almost $1,000 when it first hit the market. Then it came down to $510 for a little while, and it's since gone back up to $650. It'll be interesting to see if this one actually goes up yet again when we do get Loki Season 2 over on Disney+. Now, the orange jacket Freddy Fresh as well as the metallic classic Loki were not the only 500 piece Freddy variants that we got from the con. We got a couple regular Freddys, non-licensed, non-IP Freddys, in the form of Freddy Showtime, which was a Blacklight one as well, and limited to 500 pieces. This one in particular, I had to go out and grab for my collection right away because I really like the look and the style of this Freddy, and not to mention that it actually has the Blacklight Battle logo right on its shirt. It's currently trending for $280. However, it's come down quite a bit, as when it first hit the market, it was selling for right around $530. They did another Blacklight 500 piece Freddy in the form of Freddy Summertime, and this one is currently trending for right around the same value as the Showtime, as this one's currently trending for $290. But just like the Showtime one, this one actually did sell for much more when it first hit the market, right around that $390 to $400 mark. These two, I actually have a feeling, will be going up in value over the coming years just because of how rare they are and the fact that they're not attached to any sort of license, so they can appeal to a wide variety of Freddy collectors. Next up, we actually have a trio of Freddys, all based off of the same very popular character, and that, of course, is Optimus Prime. Now, Optimus Prime is from Transformers, and we have gotten some Transformers hype and, chatter in the pop culture community, as we just got Transformers Rise of the Beast in theaters last month, and overall, I heard the movie did pretty well, and it was pretty well received by fans. So the first Freddy Optimus Prime that we have to talk about is the least limited and the regular one, coming in at 1,500 pieces. I gotta say right off the bat, I love the mold and the design for this one, which made this one a must-have for my collection right away. And I'm actually happy that I went out and got this one a few weeks after the con, because this one has actually appreciated quite a bit in value, as it's currently trending at $290. When it first hit the market, it was only selling for about $200 to $220, so pretty interesting to see that this one has risen quite a bit. The other Freddy Funko as Optimus Prime is a metallic version, same exact color scheme, just metallic, but it is limited to 500 pieces. Now, unlike the 1,500 piece, this one goes for quite a bit more, as it's currently trending for $960 in value. It initially sold for around $1,000. It came down a little bit and it's since gone up. So I think we're going to be seeing this one sitting at a 4-digit PPG very soon, as 2 of them recently have sold for well over $1,000. However, that wasn't the only 500-piece Freddy as Optimus Prime we got, as we also got a Blacklight version with the same very limited piece count. This one is clocking in at over $1,000, as it's currently sitting at $1,080 according to PPG, and one of them has actually recently sold for $1,250. So I personally think the metallic 500-piece version is the best of the 3, but clearly there are a few people out there who are willing to spend more for that Blacklight 500-piece variant. Oh, and not to mention, if you do have the Optimus Prime Freddy in any form, it does go quite well with that Freddy Bumblebee they released in the NFT drop not too long ago. So next up we have, in my opinion, the only Freddy dud of Fundays, and this one comes in the form of Squid Game's player 456. Now this one was limited to 2,000 pieces, so on the lower end of exclusivity when it comes to the con here, or the Fundays event, and this one is currently trending for only $90, which is very reasonable for a pop that was released at an in-person event from Funko. This initially sold for $70 when it first hit the market, so clearly a lot of Freddy collectors and regular collectors in general were going after other Freddys. But it's pretty interesting to see how this one has risen by $20 over the last year. We'll see how it pans out when the Squid Game Season 2 drops over on Netflix. Now let's take a break from the Freddy Funko Pops and talk about some sodas that were actually given out at Fundays last year. And I would love to see more very, very limited sodas given out this year at the Camp Fundays event on Friday night. The first soda that we have to talk about is, yet again, another Freddy Funko, this one being in the form of the Blacklight Freddy soda. This was limited to only 500 pieces, and it didn't have a chase, which I'm actually okay with because it's so limited, it might as well be a chase on its own. Now, this mold was fantastic, as Freddy is actually holding a little tiny Blacklight Freddy soda can, which is kind of like a little bit like Inception, but I absolutely love it. This one is currently trending for $420. When it first hit the market, though, it was going for a little bit more, coming in at around $600 to $630. I think the reason that this one has gone down in value is because they actually released some other Freddy Blacklight sodas for Fright Night last year, so I think that's given collectors an outlet to go grab another Freddy Blacklight soda without having to spend an arm and a leg to get something for their collection. The next soda that we have to talk about is the Brian Mariotti soda, which was limited to 2,000 pieces. Now, obviously, Brian Mariotti has been in the news recently, but we'll just let that be for the time being. I think the soda is fantastic, as he's holding a little Huckleberry Hound soda, although this one is pretty inexpensive if you do want to grab something cool for your collection, as it's currently trending for only $50. The next soda that we have to talk about is Brian Mariotti's counterpart with Mike Becker, as he also got a soda of his own. The only difference with his is that he's actually holding a little big boy soda, so I think that actually works out perfectly for him. I know he's a big Ad Icons guy, where Brian Mariotti is a big Hanna-Barbera guy. The Mike Becker soda is also limited to 2,000 pieces, and once again, you could pick it up for pretty cheap, in my opinion, for a 2,000 piece soda. No chase for Brian Mariotti or Mike Becker. Mike Becker is currently trending at $60. And the last item that we have to talk about that was actually given at the Fundays event was the Jabbawockeez Blacklight Pop, and it was also limited to 2,000 pieces, and if I'm not mistaken, 2,000 was the amount of tickets and the amount of people that attended the Fundays event last year. I believe this year it's going to be at 2,500 people, so it is going to be bigger. Now for this pop, it's actually pretty cool because Jabbawockeez, the group, they actually performed at Fundays, and if you want to pick up this Blacklight Pop today for your collection, it's currently trending at $90, which I think is pretty reasonable. Now, we just talked about all the items that were exclusive to the Fundays event. There is also another event that was held at San Diego Comic-Con, and that, of course, was the Hall H panel. And believe it or not, there were some other exclusive Funko items that were given out during that Hall H panel that we have to talk about for today's video. So it just keeps going and going. It's absolutely crazy. The first item that we have to talk about is our final Freddy that we're talking about for this series, and this is the Hall H Freddy, and I personally love this one. I think the mold is fantastic. Natick. He's got the San Diego Comic-Con logo on his shirt. He's got his little, Comic-Con bag. Overall, is a fantastic pop. It was limited to 6,800 pieces, and today it's currently trending for $50, which I think is extremely reasonable for a limited San Diego Comic-Con Freddy. The next item that we have to talk about is the red Demogorgon, and this actually kicks off a trio of Demogorgon pops that were given out at Hall H. This one was also a glow-in-the-dark version and limited to 1,600 pieces. This one is currently trending for quite a bit, coming in at $230 according to Pop Price Guide. It initially sold for $170 when it first hit the market, so it has been rising in value, maybe due to some Stranger Things hype for the last and final season. The next Demogorgon that we have to talk about is the white Demogorgon. This one was limited to 3,100 pieces, also a glow-in-the-dark version, and it's currently trending at $165, although this pop is, I feel like, of the three, the weakest in my opinion, because it looks exactly like a proto-Demogorgon, but I know that's how they intended it to look with the all-white color scheme. The last and final Demogorgon that we have to talk about is the blue Demogorgon, which was limited to 2,100 pieces, also glow in the dark. I have no idea how they selected the piece counts for all three of these Demogorgons. This one is the cheapest of the three, coming in at $110. Overall, they're cool pops if you want to chase something very limited for the Stranger Things line, but overall, I kind of think they're a little bit on the lazy side, being that all one color. So the next Hall H exclusive that we have to talk about is a Marvel pop in the form of the red Shang-Chi. And for the mold for this one is actually really cool. He's in midair doing his signature kick, and I think it's really cool. This one was also very limited, coming in at only 500 pieces. According to Pop Price Guide, it is going for $300. However, that's only based on one sale, so I'm not sure if all of these were given out at Hall H, or if everyone has just decided to keep them and not sell them, or if the sales just aren't being tracked correctly by Pop Price Guide. The next Hall H exclusive that we have to talk about comes in the form of Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai. This one is all black and very limited, once again, coming in at only 500 pieces. This one is currently trending for $350. When this one first hit the market, it was actually selling for around $800, so this one has come down quite a bit despite being very limited. The last and final exclusive that we have to talk about is one that has a little bit of mystery surrounding it, and to my knowledge didn't officially release at the Hall H panel. This one comes in the form of the blue Ahsoka Tano. This was very limited, coming in at 500 pieces. Despite not being properly released, although it's been teased a few times by Funko. I know when I was at the Fright Night event, Mike Becker himself actually said that they were going to release the Ahsoka Tanos at some point. I don't know when that point is going to be, but if you do want to pick one of these up, if you can find one, according to Pop Price Guide, the Ahsoka Tano Blue Hall H exclusive is currently trending for 4,680 of them, which are $80, excuse me, which is very expensive. So for the few of these that have leaked onto the market, people have paid quite a hefty price for this one, so I would personally stay away from this one. I think that there is clearly a stock that Funko has that they've just not released yet, and hopefully when they do inevitably release them onto the market, it will drastically bring that PPG value down. So guys, that is going to do it for part 4 of my San Diego Comic-Con 2022 Look Back series. Please go back and watch parts 1 through 3 if you haven't done so already, because like I said, I did work extremely hard on this series, breaking down every single exclusive, whether it be from the take-home box, from the physical con, from Fundays, and of course from the Hall H panel. Just tracking all the prices and seeing how everything is fluctuated, whether up or down, in the last almost 12 months. I am super excited for San Diego Comic-Con happening this week. I think there's going to be a lot of cool exclusives given out at Fundays. So overall, I think we're in for a very fun week. So let me know down in the comment section below what you think overall of this series. And I think next year is going to have to be like 10 parts or so, because they've already teased so many exclusives. It's definitely going to be another mountain to climb making this series next year, but I'm all for it. I had a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people have already enjoyed the first 3 parts. So make sure to smash that like button, because it is time for our Monday Motivation segment. Every single week we like to bring you guys a small piece of Monday motivation to help kickstart your week and get you through the toughest day of the week, which is of course Monday. And today's Monday motivation motivation. Whether this is your first San Diego Comic-Con or your 10th San Diego Comic-Con, enjoy the journey of collecting. I have a feeling that most of you guys probably won't secure every single San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this week that you want for your collection, and that is okay. That's just part of the fun of collecting. You're not supposed to get everything you want right away, so don't get frustrated, don't get discouraged. If you see something you want going for a very high price, remember to, you know, exert that patience, outlast the FOMO, and just enjoy the collecting journey. I know I have, and it makes it very exciting when you're still picking up San Diego Comic-Con exclusives in November or December. Really, it's no big deal, and if it's something you want now, chances are you'll probably still want it in a few months. So definitely just keep that in the back of your minds, because this week, like a lot of very big Funko drops, could get a little on the crazy side. So that's going to do it for us, guys. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, because we have a lot of big videos dropping this week that you definitely don't want to miss. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back over on Whatnot for our regularly scheduled auction. We have a brand new soda game debuting tonight, so if you're a big soda collector, make sure to come over and hang out with us, because there are a lot of big chases up for grabs, and we're going to be starting off every sealed soda at just $1. So if you're new to Whatnot and haven't signed up yet, we do have a $15 credit linked in the description below, which you can use over on our stream or any other stream of your choosing, and $15 off is pretty good, so definitely don't miss out on that coupon. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't stop shooting until you score.